Okay, to put this project into perspective, what I want to do was control my blinds, closing and opening, like this. This takes way too long. So what I did is the blinds actually come with a really big housing for the mechanism inside. I took these out and put one of these NEMA 17s, right, as you can see right here, and 3D printed an axle. One of these, like, well, it's not just an axle, it's more like a coupler. So like the mechanism does have an axle, it runs from here all the way to here, and the stepper motor is located right here. You can see the wires coming out from here, and that's what the project is for. Okay, so for the code, it kind of takes bits and pieces from what we learned, but I've implemented a couple things. One of them is auto homing. So when it starts on, it's going to begin by cycling in one direction until it hits a limit switch, and it's going to look for a value. Once it does that, it's going to give its mapping position a value of 0, and then here I got more for loops. This is to turn the motor certain directions, because it's going to be controlled with my potentiometer right here. And oh yeah, also I needed a CNC shield board because it was just way easier to power these. These run on 12 volts and like a couple amps, and I can actually run multiple ones. So like if I want to add another one for the blind next to the one that's currently being powered, I'm probably going to do that. So I actually use a limit switch right here, which is for the auto homing. This is from a 3D printer. I had to kind of solder 2 of the pins together because like the serial monitor, like the logic was not adding up. So I had to test it with a multimeter and find this continuity when it's clicked and when it's not clicked. Right, to demonstrate the code working, we're going to run it and see what's showing up in the serial monitor. So let's refresh it. Okay. So here we are going to see it's just reading just a name I gave it to the serial to the print LN test just to see what's running through the loop. And on the right I have the value of the limit switch. So it's basically saying it's like a binary value. It's either 0 or like the value after the resistor, which is gonna be like around 500 something. So if I click the limit switch, this right now it's basically the motor's turning according to the code. So I click the limit switch and it goes to 518. That lets it get out of the loop. Now it's reading the values on the left are gonna be what are the values on the left? Oh yeah, the values on the left are the limit switch. The limit switch I just have them because like I like to make sure it's reading nothing, because I mean it could be reading something, but like if I click it, but it's not gonna affect the code because it's already in the loop. So the values on the right, it's gonna be correlated to the potentiometer. I had it mapped from 0 to 80, so it's gonna show 0 to 79. So here's 79, which is the max value, and then 0 is also gonna be another max value. 0 and 79, they're gonna be closed and open. No, my bad. It's going to be closed and closed. Any values in between, let's say like 15 and 65, it's going to be open. So for the processing code, I had it just display this position of the blinds depending on ranges. Just use simple logic statements like if it fell in between 10 and 65, it would be open, and if it would be less than 10 or greater than 65, it would be closed. So I make it cycle out. Right now it's reading closed because it's at a limit all the way to 79. If I bring it all the way down to 0, it's also going to display closed. If I fall in between those ranges, I'm also printing the values in the bottom of the screen right here. So if I fall in between 32, it's going to display blind position, open. See, we have the stepper motor up in the casing, it's there. As you can see, it doesn't work quite well. It does want to work, but unfortunately the stepper motor doesn't have enough power to turn these. And I'm afraid I'm gonna damage the blinds if I keep on going with that. But they are supposed to work. Here's the coupler I designed from scratch. I had to go through 3 versions in order to get the design right and 3D print it on my printer. This is the end for the stepper motor, and this is the end for the blinds. This is exactly how the motor was supposed to work in the blind, or in tandem with the blind mechanism. As I move the potentiometer, this moves. That should be closed, open, closed.